Okay. Hi, I'm Zach Emery. I'm a singer-songwriter, originally born and raised in Silver Lake, Kansas, currently based out of Houston, Texas. And today we are in Nashville, Tennessee, recording a song called Carolina. The point of making this film is I've always wanted to give an inside look to a songwriter's process. I've always figured there's a formula and there's a way to write hit songs. And I wanted to capture it on film and write the song and record the song all in the same day. We came into Nashville and sat down and had an idea, kind of a melody around a song. We're gonna release the whole song just as it kind of naturally came about. And that's kind of what I wanted to capture, was how songs come to life. Take me out of the second verse, and then the chorus, and then you're putting a guitar solo in that bridge.
We can do these guitar solo. We don't have to do any music to be on there.
Let's. I'll try to get the structure down. But for me, I write a lot of my music on my own. But I also have a songwriter named Darren Kelly, who's on majority of the tracks that I'm releasing on my next album. 2 verse, chorus, 2 verse, chorus.
I mean, chorus is the hook all day.
Yeah, chorus is
The
done.
riff on the D is the hook all day. I'm literally on that chorus thinking hard to handle, big.
I've been playing with Darren Kelly, it's been 5-7 years now. We've been writing music down in Houston. Our relationship started, with guitars and bass in our hands. And the first time I met Darren, we were walking on stage at Firehouse Saloon in Houston, Texas, and it hasn't stopped since.
It basically, the idea of music.
Also about a drummer friend of mine from Houston. His name is Chris Dean. He wanted to see the recording process, and we just had a good old time here in Nashville. Met him through a cover band down in Houston, and was thankful he came up for the trip. Ended up getting shot in my leg the day before recording down on Broadway. Got shot in my leg Saturday night, and then we recorded on Monday. And it was just an ordeal, but it's always a good time coming to Nashville. I'm lucky to still be here.
You got a beat on that? That might be a little fast.
Yeah.
What's that?
104, I'm thinking 98.
98, I think is what it is.
What was the tempo supposed to be?
92.
It's supposed to be 120, 126.
92. Where were we, 94?
198. 134. Yeah.
No, 96. Probably.
BPM. That's beat per minute. Yeah. Intro, verse, chorus, verse, chorus.
Oh, in the intro, did we talk about that vocal intro?
Yeah. That's it.
Sir?
Just do that. I really want to just hear what it sounds like coming out of that second chorus. So, to A.
Guitar solo. Guitar solo.
So, me and Darren, we're not the same age, but we have different perspectives on a lot of lyric things that we have within our songs. And that's really what I like about writing with, people that aren't your same age, or even to hear different sounds. And that's why I love writing with Darren. He comes up with words that, maybe more hip than I have now. Let's let the words write it.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Man, we've talked about this concept before. The loneliness of touring, if you will. I just think you don't have time to do anything. So you don't have time to meet a girl,
With Carolina, we really tried to capture the whole story of this girl that started in Houston, Texas, and she saw me in a show, and she followed me all the way to my next show, which is, gosh, a long ways away in Carolina, come to think about it. I think we just go right into it. Something about we unloaded and now we're here in Raleigh. I was lost in song and lost in verse 2. And the next line, blah, 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 hoping that she was thinking about, still hoping she's thinking about me too.
Yeah, that way we could leave the bridge still without vocals. Just have to be a guitar thing.
Well, we would bring them together on the bridge. They actually have a real conversation somehow, or they make a connection to each other. It's more than just a physical thing like that.
Departure. Okay, so basically after the show, they spent the whole freaking night.
Yeah.
Because Carolina is also symbolic. You've hit the end of the next thing is the ocean. You know, once you hit Carolina, it's the Atlantic Ocean. So you basically got to come back.
Well, I think the top of that first verse is we pulled into Raleigh, another sold out show.
Okay.
I was lost in the song in verse 2. How are we gonna say that? Why did something blah blah? Why'd I have to go? I was hoping that she was still thinking about me too.
Okay. I like that verse, but I really did like that verse 2. The end of the second verse should be something. The verse 2 you think. That should be the second part of verse 2.
Well, the line in there should be something about that she was there to see me.
Rolling Raleigh, another soul out. You could put the last set in Raleigh, you know, or
Collaborating with other musicians, and the biggest thing and the significance of taking out of other musicians is where they came from, their roots, and what they grew up on, the sounds, and that's really what I love about collaborating with other musicians is trying to pull their sounds of their childhood memories and all that good stuff. And that's really why I love country music, is the stories and what you can hear behind the music is really that heartfelt story. And
so we're going to listen through this. They're going to play it live while we chart. We wrote this morning, sort of.
I met Joe through a YouTube thread comment 5 years ago, and just randomly he reached back out to me. Over time, we started to get to the next process that we wanted to record together, and working with Joe has been great. He really gives that flexibility to keep true to how that song was written when you record it. He's a pro, he's professional, and he allows room for the creativity of the song to come out in the room with everybody that's there, from the scene musicians to the songwriters. He really gives space for that creativity. So Joe is definitely a pro.
Yeah, can you do that? All right, so.
First saw her at the Continental, and she was dancing across the floor.
I always second guess myself when it comes time to record. Is this the best song? Is this the one? And it's always good to have good pals like Darren saying, "This is it, man. This is the song." Of course, that time in the beginning of the session where you have to introduce the song that you'd written to the studio musicians for them to record it. And for me, handing that off to them and watching them chart it out in Nashville charting, I always kind of think, did I miss something? Was the bridge not written correctly? Was it too short or too long? And that's kind of what my thoughts go through, is where did I, overthink or underthink? But structure-wise, I think once they see the songs and once I present it to them, I think they kind of see the structure and we just attack it and go after it.
Carolina.
That's it.
Play it down.
So coming out of there's actually two courses at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, so coming out of that bridge.
Joe, coming in line level, pulled out the lines out of this direct box that you'll probably want to adjust accordingly.
The bass player, Mark Hill, if you just Google Mark's name, he's probably one of the top bass players in Nashville, and just extremely thankful to have him as a session leader for this song, Carolina, and to see him direct the session in a way that could really bring the song to life. Yeah, Jeff Roach on keys, he's just amazing. Right from the very beginning, he understood the sound that we wanted for the track. It was almost that, like he was there in the room when we wrote it. The organ that he played and the whole coming down on the chorus was just like magic. He just has a natural talent to feel the song. Mike Payne is a guitar player that I wish I could have always been. You know, I'm jealous of the way that he can just naturally pick up the guitar and play it like there's nothing. You know, I struggle with trying to play too hard, and he plays all relaxed. And
We ready?
I am.
Yeah.
Ain't never seen nothing like that girl. Been 80 days around this world. First saw her at the convent, and she keeps dancing across the floor. I knew it was an accident. After the show, we talked some more.
So when we wrap it around, should we play a 1 and then a 1, or just 7 event? Yeah,
Maybe so.
just didn't consent.
How did that feel, everybody?
It still feels maybe just a tad anxious.
It's unsettled, for sure. It feels like an awful lot of time there. What'd you think about the extra bar, Joe?
yeah, so the song can change on the fly. It can change while you're recording it. And so if that is what the song is calling for and that's where the direction is, then as a songwriter, I'm open to it. Initially in Carolina, it was a kind of an a cappella, just back into the chorus that we wanted and then going into the top of the song. But to hear just the whole musicians and the clash and everybody coming in at once, I think when you think about playing the song live, I think that's when you start recording better. The studio musicians had a different idea for, well, let's place it over here and place the guitar solo on this part, and it was really kind of cool to see it all collectively, come together as one final, I say masterpiece, but one final song.
How are we tempo-wise? It feels frantic.
It feels a little bit hectic.
Yeah.
Like we could come down a 1 or 2.
Yeah.
What do you think, Zach? I just think maybe right now you're pushing it. It's the vocal itself won't be sitting there on the final track.
Yeah, just try to sit back with us a little bit more.
Yeah, and there's a sort of a calm that comes into the drum part too. I think you feel good, Nir?
Being in the vocal chamber that day and having a camera like right off your mic was a little intimidating. You just kind of shut it off and don't think about it after a while. Yeah.
People coming in and out behind you. We've got a shot of someone sliding past you to get to the shower.
1 second. You got it. Oh, sorry for the tight squeeze.
Yeah, it's all, fair and game when you're in the war.
Yeah. 2 bars in.
That is quick. Holy cow.
Nice.
Yeah, all right. I got a couple.
And you know what else? Check this out. So you can pick it up here.
Came into the solo on Carolina and really brought that to life. I mean, it just was exactly what the song needed, and the solo came to life in literally minutes, and everybody knew it in the room right when Mike played that solo.
I love that, what you're doing.
Okay.
gotta move on. Let's kill it. Yeah, it's not gonna kill it. All right, let's get that second song going because we are crunching now.
What I want everyone to take away from this film is first just enjoy it. Take something out of it, maybe in your own craft and your own creativity. It doesn't need to be songwriting. It could be anything that sparks your imagination. Just try to figure out that people can be creative and in different realms is something I really wanted to show. I'm creative in music, maybe you're creative in arts and other ways, but I thought that it would be a structure of this is how songs are written, this is the formula, and to a certain point there is that formula, but I took out of this process and I learned from this process that there really isn't a formula. There's just whatever's best for the song, and this particular song, Carolina, and allowing that to come through that day and in that moment. But just to really take out of the whole project a sense of creativity and seeing my songwriting process and how I, as a singer-songwriter, develop and come up with the hooks, the lyrics, and then record the song. Carolina is, in my opinion, one of the best songs I've ever written, and best song that me and Darren Kelly have ever written together. To all the songwriters out there, I envy you. I'm glad to be considered a part of this this gang of songwriters. I don't even know what the gang name is, but I'm happy to be a part of the songwriting process. And to the songwriters that are watching this film, know that you can take something that you think is so silly and cheesy, a 2-chord, 3-chord song, or just even a hook, and you can create something magic, and it can be a great, huge sound. So don't ever doubt your thoughts. This is over.
All right, cut.
Ain't never seen nothing like that girl. Been 80 days around this world. I first saw her at the Continental. She was dancing across the floor. It was fate, it was accidental. After the show, we talked some more. Then it was time to leave her. Another town, another show. One last conversation. The bus was leaving, I had to go. I keep thinking while I'm riding, 'cause ain't never seen nothing like that girl. Been 80 days around this world. High and low, and in between. Now she's here hanging with me. How was I to know I'd ever end up with Carolina?
I met Darren a few years ago, and he really pushed it out of me to really write better songs and to get better.
Cheesy outro.
I'm Zach Emery, and I approve this message. You can blur that out, right? The middle fingers. You can blur that out, right? Yeah. I never really considered myself a songwriter. I was always just somebody that heard melodies in my head and